Thorbjorn, it's Debbie. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very excited to be speaking to you after watching The Tunnel.
Oh, that's good to hear.
What a film. Oh my God.
Thanks.
It's amazing. You know, I love the Norwegian disaster films that we've seen over the past decade or so, from Roar with the Wave and from John Andersen with the Quake and some other smaller ones. There is an authenticity and reality and urgency in those films that I don't normally see in the quote-unquote U.S. films, in the traditional Hollywood sense. And I think the closest thing I can come to what I was watching, your performance, was Sylvester Stallone in Daylight, many, many decades ago.
That's a good compliment. Thank you.
I know your work. I've seen your work. I never missed Vikings. To see you here, this character of Stein is so compelling. He is so human. And he has so many facets. You really bring him to life. You know, how do you even start approaching a character like this to make him more than a cardboard cutout where the tunnel and the disasters is more important than him?
Well, for me, my starting point is and the whole, actually the whole story for me is the story between the daughter, my daughter, and me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got into the movie and how I read the script for the first time, and actually how I worked the whole time. That that's the story that I kind of play out, and all the action elements and all the fun, of course, is great fun to do. But for me, I always keep that in mind, and that's I try to tell that story of a daughter and father that are kind of grown separate, but trying to find out the way back out of their tunnel, in a way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's very metaphoric,
Yeah.
very metaphoric. Trying to come out of the darkness and the haze of the black smoke and the cloud that's hanging over them, and it's that you do that so beautifully, because that the entire time I'm watching the film, I was so invested in the father-daughter dynamic, and the daughter realizing, damn, I need my daddy, and my daddy will save us, and that's something that every daughter in the world can relate to.
So and since I'm a father myself, every father at least should relate to that feeling also.
Yeah. The chemistry that you have with Ylva, who plays Elise, Stein's daughter, is amazing. We see such a range. Did you have the opportunity to rehearse to help develop that chemistry and connection, or did you just get thrown into the mix and stay at distance until shooting so that we feel more of the tension?
No, actually, Ylva and me, we have done a series earlier, like a 6-episode short series, where I actually played her stepfather. So that relationship, we had kind of worked out, not on this close kind of relationship, but then in that series it was more distant and totally different kind of story. But we knew each other, and we knew that we worked well together, and so that was a real strength for this story, that we were so, I trusted her completely, and she's a really gifted actress, so fun to work with her. So that was So going into the production, I knew I could trust that relationship, and sometimes when you work with younger actors, you know, that you have to be careful, you have to take special care of them, and you can't move too fast. But in this case, I knew I could just push hard on that relationship from the first day. So that was, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that it worked so well.
Oh, because the two of you, the heart just leaps off the screen watching the two of you, especially in that climactic third act. And I was on the edge of my seat as she's leaning over, crying, not wanting to lose her dad. So heartfelt. But how much of what we see on screen in this case is post-production special effects, and how much was actually in-camera practical? I'm curious, you know, did Pal fill a tunnel with smoke and fire, or was this put in afterwards and they just did a great makeup job with all the soot and dirt on you?
No. That's one of the things we're really proud of, and one of the things that I think make this story so, you know, compelling is we shot everything inside a real tunnel. Mm-hmm. So there's no green screens, you know, no studio. It's all shot in this, you know, it was like this 3 kilometer long tunnel that they almost doesn't use anymore because they've built a bigger tunnel just beside it. So we could shoot in this tunnel for a month, and so we spent the whole days inside that tunnel. And you know, when all the car crashes and some of the fires, you know, we all knew, okay, there's a 15-minute run to get out of here if something goes wrong. And that sense of being inside there and being, you know, in the dark, it's so much easier to act when it's, you know, all the environment is real.
Yeah.
You're not walking out and having a snack in some outside, you know, you're stuck there, and it does something for us as actors, and I love that, and I think that's one of the reasons why the film works.
Oh, well, and I think this is one of the keys to why these Scandinavian films really are so powerful, is because all of these directors, be it Paul, Roar, John, it's all practical. So you are in the moment, and we can feel that we are in that moment with you. You know, here, and the way the camera gets used with so many close-ups to see the pain on faces. And it's tricky because Stein actually has a mask on for a good portion. But then when you rip that sucker off, it's like the fear, the pain, the urgency is all on your face, buried under all that dirt and soot. But we see it, and it's powerful. And you don't feel any pretending or acting in those moments. And that's a real testament to you as an actor, and also to Pal as a director, to go to that length.
Oh yeah, it's also the director. It was really a very nice work with the director, and yeah, sometimes you can think that it makes it harder to work in environments like that, but actually the job of acting is so much easier because it comes easier to, yeah.
How grueling was the physical aspect of this role, of this performance, on top of all the smoke and the fires and car crashes? Because you're wearing heavy gear, you're carrying equipment, people.
Oh yeah, it's really heavy. But the real grueling part was beforehand when I worked, you know, with real firemen in the fire department here in Norway, and was out working at these test stations that they have, and went into smoke and fire with real firemen and learned how they work and search through buildings, and it's so hard work what they do. The firemen, it's exhausting. So I just I was so impressed by the way they work and the hardship they go through. And so by that research, for me also, it was really important to play this part as an homage to all the real firemen and the real rescue people that are out there and doing the real job, not just us actors pretending to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was important for me to do it right, and to make everything. But it was fun when we did the research. I was in this training facility, and I went in with real fire, real smoke, and was in there for 15 minutes. I came out totally exhausted, and then the fireman said, "Oh, but remember, it wasn't 200 degrees hot in there as it used to be. It was just so we didn't work with the extreme heat, which is the real killer for these guys." So yeah.
Well, and
no,
I was going to say, and that's one of the elements that we see with the tunnel, because not only is there heat, but it's that the thickness of the smoke and the fact it's contained within this tunnel that adds just another textural layer to the experience. And seeing smoke that thick, wow, they must have been blowing that stuff in through the ventilation system a mile a minute.
Yeah, I must say that was that was the worst thing to control. That smoke was like, okay, too much smoke. You can't just get it out of some ventilators, because you just have to wait for 15 minutes to get. That was a pain in the ass. The smoke, because it took so long time for it to get out. But that was just a technical aspect of it. Yeah.
Wow. I'm really curious. You have such an eclectic career. You're theater trained, which shows in your acting. I always think theater trained actors are much better actors on the whole. But you do stage, you do TV, you do film on both sides of the Atlantic. And you have a band, and you write music, and you've written plays. How do you do all this, oh Renaissance man?
That's kind of, I haven't had that many goals actually but that has been a goal for me since I was young, to expand and do different things and just experiment in all the different genres of the work we do. And as a young kid, like Willem Dafoe was my big hero, doing this experimental booster group in New York that he did. I was there watching him when I was 20 and watching his movies and just realizing that you can go and do all these different things in your career. And so that has been a goal for me. And in that way, I think I'm succeeding. So I'm actually quite proud of that variety that I'm doing.
Do you see yourself with your music? Do you see it integrating into some of your film or TV work as well at some point?
Yeah, maybe at some point. I've done that on stage. I've done it, integrated it. But the music, the part of it's kind of this fantastic side project for me, and just if the opportunity comes along, I would love to mix it in more. But as for now, that's kind of a really fun side project for me. I always say that for some reason actors should not be playing in a band. Even when Johnny Depp was on the top of his career, the fact that he was playing in this rock and roll band, it wasn't, that was cool. And so I'm trying to, if you understand what I mean, I don't know why it is like that, but actors should not be bragging too much about them playing in the band because it doesn't resonate that well. I think for some reason.
Well, you look at somebody like Kevin Costner who has a band. You look at Dennis Quaid who has a band, but they keep it more low key. But I think you're right. I think you're right.
Why is that? I don't know.
I don't know, but it could be because our mindset. We have somebody, we think about them in one area, and then your attention gets distracted if they're doing something else. And it's like, okay, are you cheating? I think in the back of your mind, maybe we're thinking, well, now they're not giving 100% to acting. They're spending all their time doing music. So why should we hire them or believe them on screen? And vice versa.
I don't know, maybe it's like that, yeah.
I think you're right. And, I think it's fabulous when somebody like yourself can do both. But the fact that you're not... But yeah, that's interesting. Now I'm going to have to think about that for a while.
But I mean, I would love, but on the other side, I would love if people in the U.S. Would listen to that music, because I think it's good Norwegian, music and fantastic musicians. So it's a mixed. But I love the project that we do. So that's fun.
Your album Scar, is that a new album, or is it new to the States? So it's brand new.
Yeah, it's brand new. It came out, and like everything else that were released, the past year, this came out in late autumn, in end of October. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to tour around, but that of course has been postponed. So we're now looking to tour a bit. Next autumn, that's our goal. But the album is out, and yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Now, how has the past year, for somebody as busy as you with all your different projects, how has the past year on virtual world lockdown been for you? Especially being at home with kids and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we all love our kids, but when they're home 24/7, it's suddenly a bit more stressful, but it's been both a good thing and a not so good thing. But I mean, I've managed very well compared to others that have lost their jobs, and but in the early, from March and until June, everything stopped.
Right.
I guess they did in the U.S. too. So then I was just out of work. But then for me, luckily, acting-wise, it's picked up again after summers, and then it's been. But my real plan was to go back to the theater now from January. Mm-hmm. But then we realized it's not going to happen. So then I jumped on some other film project that luckily was available for me.
Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to do any writing, write any more plays, or do anything while in lockdown?
Yeah. So this autumn we were actually writing a series that I'm writing with two writers and me are doing that we are very close to getting what do you call it in English, like a final, when they
getting greenlit, getting a deal.
To get a green lighted. So that's, I've been a part of that. That's that's the next thing you and I are going to talk about when that comes.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. So, is there anything besides the tunnel that you have that we can look forward to until you get that project done?
There is something that I finished, but I don't think no, I finished shooting a movie just now, but I think, you know, we always have to wait to talk about things, so...
Yes. Let's not spoil it. Don't spoil anything. Don't say anything you're not allowed to say. Well, for my money, I'm happy with The Tunnel because I will be rewatching it again.
Yeah, oh, that's good to hear. And, I'm really thankful for you to talk to me because, you know, all of us involved in making that movie, we're so proud of it coming out in the U.S. and we really, really look forward to hear the reactions from over there, as we say.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for you to taking the time to talk to me.
Oh my God, I jumped.
Getting the word out. Yep.
I think Rob and they'll all tell you I jumped at the chance to talk to you when he emailed me about it, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, because knowing, you know, some of your prior work and a disaster film. Oh please, I love disaster films. And I love the human element of them, the survival instinct and aspect, and people using their wits and their brains to stay calm and get their way out of a situation so they can survive. And I definitely was not disappointed with this one. And honing in on your character on Stein, it was a joy to watch.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
No, it's been, it was a really, really nice thing for me to do.
Well, Thorbjorn, I can't thank you enough. This has been lovely talking to you this morning, and I can't wait till we do it again.
Yeah, please, let's do it.
Definitely.
With the next time there's something released, and you asked about a really fun thing that came out this autumn was, you know, I did the Vikings thing, and then I did kind of a homage to my character in Vikings in this comedy show called Norseman that's on Netflix. If you want to see Norwegian humor, you should check out the Norseman. That's a really fun.
Oh, I definitely will.
And so there's a three-season thing, and I come in at the third season. Just that's quite funny actually.
Okay, well.
Then you have the comedy aspect of it, if you want to look into that.
Well, I have to see that. I'm gonna have to go into Netflix this week and watch that. That's for darn sure. Oh my gosh. Yay! Something else to watch that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Thorbjorn, thank you again so much. And I look forward to the next time.
Yep, super.
You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.